Car D Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Nen Garden. They've got playmats ranging from One Piece and even non-One Piece. Check out the Love and Chainsaw playmat, now available at nengarden.com. Use NEN15 for 15% off your first order, plus apply my affiliate code Kaizoku for an additional 5% on top of that. That's right, that's 20% off your order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Man, what deck should I play today? Oh, I know, I'll head over to gumgum.gg for the most up-to-date One Piece deck lists, updated daily with over 1,000 deck lists per set, including both Eastern and Western decks. Whether you're chasing the meta or hunting for rogue strategies, use gumgum.gg. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, in this video we're going to be watching the Wave 2 championships for the Fukuoka region in Japan. Shout out to my Kyushu peeps. Okay, looks like the top 16 breakdown here is 6 Doflamingos, 3 Purple Luffys. I'm excited for that. We didn't see any Purple Luffys in the other 2 regions. 2 Shanks, 2 Teach, Blackbeard, and then 2 Foxy actually. What the heck? 1 Lucci. Interesting. I'm really curious to see how the Foxy does. Because I always thought Foxy was like kind of almost viable, right? The only thing was that outside of the Foxy package, like they just needed better purple cards to fill in the slots, because there isn't like a full support package there for the Foxy deck. At least when I played it, but we'll see how it performs in this tournament setting here. So it's looking like game 1 is Lucci against, I hope it's a Foxy. We'll see. Let me skip ahead a bit. It is against the Foxy. Yeah, we get to see a Foxy game. Okay, hopefully it doesn't lose in the first round, so we get to see more Foxy. Because yeah, actually I played Foxy by now, so I actually know what his cards do. Fortunately for me. So I can help explain some things as we watch the match, hopefully. Right, I don't trust my memory too. Could forget some things. But let's just see how things go here. Let's skip to past the setup. So it's looking like the Lucci player has to read the Foxy's leader ability because he's not familiar with it. I guess I'll explain it while we're setting up right now. So Foxy, when he attacks, he can -3 Dawn, return 3 Dawn back to his Dawn deck, and then if you have 3 or more Foxy Pirates characters out, when you do this, you can choose up to one of your opponent's rested characters and their leaders, and then they don't become active on their next refresh phase. So it locks out 2 targets. Sort of like Green Bonnie in a way, but like proactive Green Bonnie, because Bonnie is reactive. When your opponent attacks, you pay a Dawn, you can rest something. This guy locks something down that's already rested, right? And then Lucci's leader ability is when you attack, if you discard the top 2 cards of your deck to your trash, you can give -1 cost to something. So that gets you caught up to speed, right? So Lucci's hand, Spandam, Khalifa, Lucci, Jack, and Gecko Moria. Not bad, right? A little bit of everything that you need. You got top end, you got early game, you got mid game. What more could you ask for? Like a Rebecca and Brooke and stuff like that, I guess. Against the Foxy deck, yeah, you kind of want early KO to get rid of a lot of his ramping cards, right? You don't want the Ito Mimizu to live, so a Brooke would help. But no, Lucci accomplishes the same thing. And then with the Spandam, he can fill his discard pretty early. The Foxy has 3 Mr. 2s, a Khalifa 2K, and a Sanji. Yeah, so yeah, Sanji and Mr. 2 are like the filler cards that Foxy Pirates package needs. Because other than like the Chopper, the Portias, the 7-cost Foxy, and then Ito Mimizus, you gotta fill the rest of the deck with other purple cards because the rest of the Foxy Pirates package kind of sucks. Oh, and Gina too, the 2K. Okay, let's see who's going first. Game start. Excited to see this matchup. Okay, Lucci's going first. Spandam out. I'm guessing the Foxy chose to go second, right? Because usually Lucci wants to go second. Discards all 3, loses a Rebecca, a Gecko, and Kobe? Oh, okay. That's the expensive Kobe. This is a really blinged out deck. Okay, passes to Foxy's 2 Dawn turn. I just gotta say, Japanese stream is so much easier to follow along with. It passes it, and then back to the Lucci, attacks for 5 with the Spandam. Foxy takes, as I almost choke on my own phlegm. Sorry, maybe I'll edit that out. It probably sounds gross. He has a Mango Sabo too. So yeah, attacks for 5, mills 2. This guy's entire deck is more expensive than probably like my car. Alright, so counters 1k on the Foxy side, passes to Foxy at 4. He probably plays Mr. 2 here to ramp. So yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, I really appreciate the Japanese streams because like all the cards are in the right zones, leaders in the leader area, characters in the character area. The table's big enough to accommodate them. I was watching the Jakarta, Indonesia Bandai Card Fest finals in probably 2 videos ago is when I uploaded it. It was so hard to follow along, but this is so much easier. So Foxy attacks the 6, Lucci takes it. Lucci's 5 Dawn turn, so Mr. 2 is something he could kill, I guess, but it really is only copying the Spandam on board. I think you can ignore it for now until you can kill 2 things with the Lucci. The 4-cost Lucci you have in hand. He also has the Ice Age and Tempest Kick to help cost reduce stuff. So I would play like the Khalifa this turn if I was him. Just to fill your discard some more. He also has Sabo, right? No, that's in the trash, sorry. I remember I saw like a Mongo Sabo somewhere. So it's 6 at lead and then Khalifa, I'm pretty sure. Now, does Foxy take? The thing is, I do know what Foxy's cards do, but I also don't play him too much, so I don't know what Foxy does in this situation. He does take, okay, he doesn't counter. The Lucci runs 2 Sabos actually, that's really interesting. Not Sabo, Kobe. 2 3-cost Kobe's. They're the Treasure Cup prize cards variant. Does play out the Khalifa, who is also a max rarity alt art in the deck. I wonder what cards aren't blinged out in his deck. That Ice Age is probably, yeah, it's the premium selection one. Rebecca's an alt art. I don't even know what that 3rd card from the right is, which is not the rightmost card. What is that? Something green. What the heck? What's my stream quality? It's already at 1080, so I just don't recognize the art. So passes back to the Foxy's turn. He goes to 7 here. He could play 7-cost Foxy if he has it, but I don't think I see it. And he has 2 other Mr. 2s. So he does attack 5. Oh, does Lucci counter or take? He doesn't have too much counter in hand. He might just take it here. He do take it. He do take, and then what did he get from that? A Brook, and then Sanji comes out from the Foxy, -1 Dawn. He gets to rest something. And then he can attack 7k into it, because he has a Rush. 7k into life. Okay, he's not worried about the Khalifa at all. But yeah, if the Lucci took a 5, that gives you a good indication that maybe you can get a 7 to land as well. Right, the reason they would take is because they want more counter in hand to protect their characters on a future turn. But yeah, if they didn't have it, he does take in the end, right? Good call. I'm glad he finally took, because I didn't know where I was going with that with that sentence, to be honest. I was starting to ramble, but yeah. Passes to the Lucci's. I believe it's his 7 Dawn turn as well, right? So he could set up for a Lucci play this turn. Or he could develop the Jack, but then if he develops the Jack, he can only kill the Mr. 2. And then Sanji has a pretty good stat line to attack back into the Jack, right? 7k into 8. If he commits like at least 3 Dawn, it makes it really hard to defend. So 5 at lead, -1 cost to Nami, Mr. 2, who is looking like Nami in the art. Takes the 5. Interesting. He has so much counter in hand, but I guess he's just like searching for the 7-cost Foxy here. Does play the Jack and kill the Mr. 2. Is that Foxy in his hand? I don't recognize the rightmost card in the Foxy's hand. I'm guessing the Foxy dex is max rarity too. There's just not too many max rarity options for the Foxy cards. But whatever he can bling out, he has blinged out. So that's the Lucci's turn. Passes back to Foxy. This goes to his he's at 8 Dawn, I believe, because he -1 Dawn last turn. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes, I can count. I can keep track of math. I have object permeates, Dawn permeates. Okay, it's oh, 5-cost kid. That's interesting art. I don't recognize it. And he top deck a 9-cost Luffy. So yeah, 7-cost Sanji, 9-cost Luffy were OP09 additions that helped fill out the Foxy Pirates package. But the key card in the deck that helps you get your Dawn back is not in his hand. Right, neither Ito Mimizu or the 7-cost Foxy. No Portia either. Portia would help flood the board a bit. So what does he do for 8? He's not enough to play the Luffy just yet. Could develop... I do see a second Sanji. Or you could commit Don onto the Sanji on board to kill the Jack, because you don't want that to stay alive, right? It can pop something every turn. Oh, actually no, the leader can keep it rested, so he can't use his activate main anymore. So maybe you don't have to worry about Jack. So you want to play something to have 3 rested Dawn to use for the leader ability. What would that be? It could be a chopper, just have a chump blocker out. But you can kind of surmise that 8 cost Kakamori is coming out next turn. And he'll have it in addition to like Ice Age and Tempest Kick to cost reduce stuff. And he has a Rebecca and a Lucci in the discard, so you could see some Lucci shenanigans starting next turn. So Foxy attacks for 6 and does not leader ability yet. Counters 2, and then Sanji attacks, counters 3. That's a good chunk of counter out of the opponent's hand. Could be another Sanji here. He has 7 Dawn left. And it is another Sanji. Very aggro. 7 at lead. Dang! He's not even gonna like control the board. He just wants to kill. This Foxy is turbo aggro. The Lucci takes... I guess that's how you kind of have to play against Lucci, right? Because you know Lucci runs a low amount of 2k counters. He depends a lot on like recurring the Rebecca to recycle 2ks and then block, but then... I guess Foxy's confident that even if Rebecca's come out this turn, he can control the board from this point on and then go for game. Because having Lucci at 1 life is a great thing to have, right? Because even if they play 21 Dawns worth of cards, at this point, he does have to worry about like death too, right? So he can't be more aggressive with his Gecko Moria plays. He has to always keep in mind defense. So that might make it awkward for him to try to reach some like KO thresholds for the cost reduction. So we're gonna see Lucci do some crazy math here because he actually has full combo in hand for everything that he wants to do. Counting his discard. Now I didn't see if he had a Spandine, and even if he did, I probably wouldn't recognize the alt-art version of it if he has it. The Foxy's hand is interesting. He does have a Porsche, which can cheat out a chopper. And it can find him the 7 cost Foxy if he needs it. I don't think he even needs it at this point. And yeah, the 2 7Ks out really strong because he has 1 Jack to deal with it. And then I guess he could use Brook too if he doesn't want to Gecko Moria, because he has 2 Tempest Kicks, right? That gets rid of both Sanjis. Ice Age makes one a 2 cost, 2 Tempest Kicks makes one the other one a 1 cost. If only he had kept the Lucci in hand. I don't know if he does have it. He might have the SP version that I don't recognize. Okay, let's skip ahead because I ran out of stuff to talk about. So leader attacks for 5, mills Brook and a Lucci, and -1 cost to one of the Sanjis. Yeah, Fox is pretty low too actually, at 2 life, it counters 1. His discard is entirely made up of alt-art Mr. 2s. Okay, it does Tempest Kick to give -3 costs, so that's -4 total. So he is a 3 cost right now, kills it with the Jack. Bye-bye Sanji. And that lets him mill. Hopefully we get to see Foxy's leader ability in action, because otherwise any purple deck could have done what the Foxy is doing right now. Right, play Mr. 2 and then 2 Sanjis. Okay, so he does kill the Sanji, mills his 2nd Jack. He's got 8 Dawn left. Could Gecko here? Just to get a blocker out. I don't think he has enough to kill the other Sanji. So just bring a bunch of 2Ks to hand and get a blocker back. Seems worth it to me. And he has another Gecko in hand for next turn anyway. I do see a Lucci actually. Okay, does play the Gecko. Yeah, this is probably better than the Ice Age Tempest Kick Lucci play that I mentioned earlier. So Rebecca and a Spandam. Spandam lets him search top 3 for a CP card. It takes the Spandine, and then Rebecca lets him bring back a 3 to 7 cost black card from his discard. Takes the Khalifa 2k, and then he can play a 3 cost or less black card from his hand out if he wants, but I don't think he needs to. Passes it, yep. Picked up 3k counter there and a blocker. Yeah, that's why Lucci can get away with running so few 2k counters, because he has them reusable from his discard. In case you're a new player and you want to know why Lucci is so great. So Foxy, or is it Foxy's turn? He hasn't untapped his Dawn, so I'm guessing the Lucci's still thinking something? No. Wait, what's the holdup? There's nothing left to attack, right? Okay, now he passes it. That was weird. Lucci wanted to think during his own turn about what he's going to do next turn instead of doing it during the Foxy's turn, I guess. So Foxy goes to his 9 Dawn. Okay, so Foxy has a Usohachi. Yeah, the Straw Hat package is a great supplemental package to run along the Foxy Pirates package now. Kind of makes me want to try playing him again. Okay, 5 cost Kid out. 4 Dawn for Portia? A 3 Dawn. So -1 Dawn, you can look at the top 5 for a Foxy Pirates card added to your hand, and then after that you can play a purple card from your hand with 4,000 power or less. Ooh, you can play a Onami this way. That's pretty cool. Pretty interesting. But yeah, just takes a chump blocker and chopper. Huh, yeah, Straw Hat package with Foxy is pretty cool. He has to read the chopper too. All he does is ramp you a Rested Dawn, and he's a blocker. Plays it out, because Portia lets you do that afterwards. Ramps a Rested Dawn. Then, since he minus Dawn with the Portia, Kid ramps him an active Dawn. He pays 2 Dawn for another chopper. Chump it up! Then attacks with Leader for 5. Finally uses Leader ability. He freezes the Jack and the Leader. So you don't untap during their next refresh phase. So I guess he waits until 10 Dawn to start Leader abilitying. Does counter 1k against that Sanji 7. Block here? Yes? No? Yes? 7k? He has counter for it, but might as well block, right? Because you have another Gecko to replay the Rebecca anyway. I'm guessing that's what you're going to do on your turn. He does block, because that Rebecca is going to come right back out. Now the 5 cost Kid can attack too. But that's an easy 2k against the... Oh, compared to like the 7k. He does leave the Kid up. That's interesting. Why would you not attack with the Kid? Wait, did he play it this turn? He did. Sorry. My mistake. My goldfish memory. Forgot. That Kid just came out, so he can't attack yet. So Lucci is finally at 10 Dawn. So he has Ice Age and Tempest Kick combined with the Gecko Moria play here into a Rebecca Spandine Lucci. That would get rid of Sanji and then the 5 cost Kid as well. Leave the blockers up. Now, does the Foxy ever let the Jack unfreeze? But he does need more like ramp sources, right? He doesn't have Itomimizu or the 7 cost Foxy, so you can't do it for free every turn. He's actually Dawn minusing and it's sticking, so he does have to worry about that. I guess with the second 5 cost Kid he has in hand, he can get one of the Dawn back. Okay, so it does attack with the Gecko Moria for 9. He could just chump this with the chopper. Commits to it. Nope. Commits to it. Yep. 9 at lead. He could take to try to find a Foxy. Or he could just chump it with the chopper. Chump and chopper. I think from the Foxy's perspective, you know he's probably not going to KO the choppers anyway. Right? He wants to kill the 7 cost Sanji and then the 5 cost Kid. It's looking like he is gonna chump it. Okay. Stay healthy, stay healthy. So 1 Dawn for Ice Age, Tempest Kick? Maybe Tempest Kick, because you get to draw a card with this. I wonder what he gave -1 cost to with the Leader. I guess we'll see. Picks up a second Ice Age. Oh, he hasn't picked the target for the -3 cost yet. So let's see. He's doing some math here. He's got to make one thing a 2 cost and another thing a 1 cost. I don't remember if he had Helmeppo in the discard. It might just be a Tsuru, or maybe he doesn't have any cost reduction at all in the form of an on-play. Okay, -3 to... I mean, if you do it to the Kid, that already makes him a 2 cost. So you just gotta find... I'm guessing the Sanji is already a 6 cost, so you gotta find 5 costs from an Ice Age or something. And that's what we see, so yeah. Kid and Sanji are dead here. If he's doing the cost reduction the way that I mentioned. This is the premium selection version of Ice Age, very fancy. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead the basic math part. Okay, so yeah, Kid and Sanji are tagged, then could be Rebecca, Spandy, and Lucci. Okay, so he did have a Tsuru. So Gecko, Rebecca out replaces the other characters he had on board. Then he can take back a 2k here because he already has a Spandian in hand from the Rebecca effect. Or you could take a Sabo, probably don't need the Sabo against Foxy, right? Because Foxy doesn't really KO. What's the holdup? What are you accounting for? I guess the only decision he has to make is what he wants to take back with Rebecca, because he already has a Spandian in hand that he can play out. So he was thinking about the Sabo, the Manga Sabo there, or a 2k. I guess that's the only like decision you really have to make. 2k or a Sabo. 2k or a blocker. Yeah, it's Khalifa or the Sabo. He's alternating between the two. I would take the Khalifa, but I also don't have the foresight to think why we need a Sabo in this matchup. Takes a Sabo? Okay, I guess we'll find out. And then, yeah, Spandian cheated out with the Rebecca, and then he uses his effect to play out a Lucci from discard by returning 3 CP cards. Bottom deck sit, and then Lucci comes out, and you have to return 3 more cards from your discard. KOs the Kid and the Sanji. But yeah, I know there's like a 3-cost event in the Foxy package that lets you untap a Foxy character or leader. So we could see like a 12k double swing at some point to go for game, since Lucci's only at 1 life. Does have to get rid of that Rebecca though to accomplish that. He picks up, what does that guy do again? I thought I knew all the cards, but it's 3 costs. I remember it's Pickles. If you have less or equal Dawn than your opponent, your Foxy Pirates characters other than Pickles cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. Oh, that's good in this matchup, but kind of late. It would have protected a lot of his board. Actually, no, they didn't KO any of the Foxy Pirates cards. It was the Kid and Sanji that got KO'd. Let's see what this Foxy does. Would he keep the Jack rested or would he keep the Gecko rested? That's the thing. Oh right, the leader was frozen last turn, so it did not give -1 cost to something. Editor, go back in time and fix that part so I don't sound stupid. Let's play the 9 cost Luffy. Yeah, because I was mentioning that he gave -1 cost to with the leader, but it was frozen by the Foxy's leader ability, so he couldn't do that. Which is why he needed the Tsuru actually. Which is why the math took a lot longer than I expected. I'll add a note. You guys all understand, right? Don't be mean. So Luffy does get rush, and if you minus a Dawn, he draws you a card. I think the rush is baked into that too, actually. But yeah, he has a 10k swing with that Luffy. And he did use the leader ability. He froze something, but I didn't pay attention, sorry. So yeah, counters 2k against the leader hit, and then Portia attacks. We'll see what's frozen once he gets to his refresh phase and it doesn't untap, right? Another 2k. Then Luffy attacks 10, blocks with Rebecca, and then passes to the Lucci's turn. And it is the Jack. Okay, yeah. Because Jack can just freely kill the Chopper. Makes sense to me. And then what... He does have a Lucci in hand that can just pop the Chopper right now. And then... he might have enough for lethal between the 3 attacks he has on board. Right, it's 4 Dawn for Lucci, and then you have 6 Dawn to swing 3 hits into life. But the thing is, if you don't win, the Lucci dies on the clapback. So it's really risky. But what else could he do? What is that card on the right? I don't recognize that art. Is that Jack? No, it's not. It's something buff and muscly. Is it Who's Who? I guess we'll see it once it gets zoomed in more. Freaking alt art people, I don't recognize your cards. I only know basic art. So the safe play would be to play Sabo and then try to live a turn while getting your 9Ks in. I think that's why he's separating out that 5 Dawn there. And that's 6. So I have no idea what he's gonna do. Okay, Lucci attacks for 6. He takes it, interesting. And he gets the Foxy, finally. 7 cost Foxy. Now that it's been, what, 25 minutes into the game. Right, I'm gonna drink some water. So hopefully they don't do anything and I don't choke trying to speak while they're trying to do stuff on board. So has not committed any Dawn for the turn just yet. So let's skip a bit. Oh no, he's doing something. So he does play Ice Age onto the... I don't know if that was the Luffy or the Porsche. Okay, it does play the Lucci. KO's Porsche and Chopper. Interesting. Since the 6K did land, right, you just split between the 2 geckos? No, he doesn't. He just does a 9K. I thought he would have done like, what is that, 12-12? But I guess he wants to leave Dawn up for Sabo. I guess this is the safer thing to do, but I think he would have had it if he went 12-12, actually. Because he has what, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7K counter. 8K counter. Oh yeah, he would have been able to counter, right? 8, makes it a 13, he could have stopped a 12. But he does stop a 9 here for 5. Yeah. If he did what I did, he would have lost. So that's why I am not on the stage here. Actually, he only has 5 Dawn, so he would have done 12-11. Which is even worse, so don't listen to me, pro players. Okay, he does play the Sabo out, the remaining 5 Dawn. Now from this position, I mean, the Foxy does have Usohachi. So 3 Dawn for Usohachi and then split between the 9 cost Luffy and leader. That might win you the game. Yeah, if not for Usohachi, the Lucci is in the perfect position to take it here, but I do think the Lucci loses here, right? Just Usohachi win. No matter what counter he gets from life, it's guaranteed lethal. Oh, but he doesn't have 10 Dawn, that's the thing. Right. But we'll see. Usohachi, he has how many remaining Dawn? Is this 9? Takes, and then, yeah, guaranteed lethal, 11 into 3 cards. Foxy takes game 1? What the heck? Against Lucci too. Arguably top of the meta Lucci. I wonder how this Foxy does into Doflamingo. Maybe it does well, right? Because you can block out the leader every turn. Okay, well, if there's 2 Foxys in this tournament, I gotta watch the next match, right? It's probably gonna be a Foxy as well. So let's skip ahead. Oh, Purple Luffy. Okay, I gotta watch it, right? Purple Luffy's my boy. Oh, it's against the Foxy guy. Okay, Purple Luffy against Foxy. Now I'm conflicted because I kind of want both decks to win, but they have to face against each other, so only one of them can proceed. That's kind of bittersweet. Okay, they're doing the Saisho Agu, and they Jonken that pawn. So I couldn't tell who won that rock, paper, scissors, so we'll just see who goes first when the game actually starts. Okay, Purple Luffy versus Foxy. Both purple sleeves. I like it. So Mr. 2, 9 cost Luffy, Gum Gum Giant, Frankie 2K, and then Zoro. And then on the other end, we have 2 Ginas, a Khalifa, Ito Mimizu, and a Porsche. So we do get to see some ramping from the Foxy pretty early. Not early, but like consistently with the Ito Mimizu. Because what he does is, if your leader is a Foxy Pirates type, and you don't have any other characters in play named Ito Mimizu, so if he's the only one, you can ramp Rested Dawn every turn. Makes it really easy to liberally use your leader ability, which isn't too impactful against Purple Luffy, because his leader effect doesn't have to deal with him attacking, right? His leader ability is if you're at, what was it, 2 or more Dawn, you can take a card from your life to your hand, and then you can ramp 1 active Dawn. It's 3 or more, right? From your second turn onward, that's when you can start using Purple Luffy's leader ability, which is why he passed on his first turn. He didn't have a Law Searcher. And then Foxy's leader ability, I guess this will be included in the other match, so I would have explained it by now, hopefully. So he does attack 5 with the leader. I'll just refresh you just in case you don't know. So Foxy, what he does is if you attack and you -3 Dawn back to your Dawn deck, you can freeze an opponent's rested character and a leader from untapping on the next refresh phase. So Luffy does ramp to 4 here, using his leader ability, and then plays the Zorodro, lets him search top 5 for a Straw Hat type card. I would take a Luffy Taro here. Yeah, we got Taro guaranteed for next turn. The strongest plays you can do with Purple Luffy is 4 Dawn. Well, you go to 3 Dawn, ramp to 4, play Zorodro, and then next turn you ramp to 7, and then play a Luffy Taro. So you have 3 characters out on your 3rd turn. And they're all beefy characters too. You get a 6k, 8k, and then most likely another 6k. Does play the Portia out on the 4 Dawn turn, minuses a Dawn, looks at top. Is it 5? Yeah, top 5 for a Foxy Pirates card. And he'll cheat out the Ito Mimizu probably. Now he could take another Portia actually from this Portia search. There's Chopper as an option too. He has to bottom deck 2 9-cost Luffy's though, that's kind of unfortunate. Wait, it looks like this guy doesn't prioritize keeping a 7-cost Foxy in hand, or maybe he's just got unlucky the past 2 games and couldn't find it. But yeah, maybe he'll just happen into it eventually anyway, naturally. So it does cheat out the Ito Mimizu with the Portia. He can ramp a rested Dawn right now. So it's like he didn't lose any Dawn at all. Does swing 5 until 6? Right, he has nothing else to do for 1 Dawn, so might as well burn a 2k. He could play the Gina out. What does Gina do again? Gina is 1 Dawn. If your leader has a Foxy Pirates type and the number of Dawn on the field is equal to or less than the number of Dawn on your opponent's field, you ramp an active Dawn. Got it. Yeah, he could have ramped the Dawn with the Gina, but he does attack for 6 instead, and then Luffy counters 2, because since you're taking life to ramp, you want to be as healthy as possible. So it goes to 6 here. 1 more leader ability brings him to 7. Did he draw another 7-cost Luffy? I think he did. No, he didn't. I don't recognize some of this art. It's too fancy for my blood. I think that's a 9-cost Lin Lin. It's very pink. So it does attack 6k with the Zoro. And then takes, and then leader 5. Counters 1, and then 7 Dawn. Oh, leader ability. Now 7 Dawn. What does he get from his life? Sangoro. Perfect. He gets the card that he wants to cheat out with the Luffy Taro. He did have the Zorodro too, a second one, as a backup if he didn't get the Sangoro from life. Yeah, Sangoro is good in that once you're at 8 Dawn and he attacks, you draw a card. He will hit 8 Dawn next turn. He's at 6 right now. The Straw Hat package really boosted the viability of Purple Luffy. I was just really surprised I didn't see any Purple Luffys in the Miyagi and then the Hokkaido Championship Series. But yeah, Fukuoka knows what's up. Kyushu knows what's up. The South knows. But maybe you guys don't know geography of Japan too well. Kyushu is like the southern island of Japan, the most southern island. It's kind of like separated from the main island, which is called Honshu. And that's where Fukuoka is. I think Fukuoka is the capital of Kyushu. And that's where this final is taking place. I think it's like a lot more tropical down there than like Tokyo, the Kanto area. So it does play out the Chopper out of hand. For 2, it ramps a Rested Dawn. He's a blocker as well. What do you do for 4? Play a Mr. 2? Yeah, just ramping, right? Ramping. And then the Ito Mimizu can ramp as well. So that would bring him to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Dawn. So Mr. 2 out. That gets you an active Dawn, and the Ito Mimizu can ramp you a Rested Dawn. Unless he did it already, and I was looking away when he did it. It's a bad habit of mine when I'm explaining stuff. I do tend to look away from the screen for some reason. It helps me to organize my thoughts when I look upwards. But that doesn't help when I'm trying to do this. Okay, 6 at lead. Or 6 at Zorodro. No, he used his leader ability to free Zorodro and the leader. Does counter 2. Ito Mimizu ramp and pass. So Oh wait, only Zordro leader cannot untap, right? Tripped me out there for a moment. Purple Luffy. So yeah, this is what Foxy is great at, just locking out 2 things from attacking you. I guess I'll keep casting the games that Foxy is in. So if he wins this, I'll cast the next game. If not, yeah, I'll just separate the other games in another video. Because if the Foxy loses, that means the Purple Luffy goes on. So I want to watch that as well. But might be too much for one video, so I'll separate it into 2. So Sangoro attacks for 6, draws a card because he's at 8 Dawn. Picks up another Luffy Taro. He could ramp here and play the 9 cost Big Mom, or he could just play the Luffy Taro and have 2 Dawn left over. Or 1 Dawn left over, sorry. And he could leave a Dawn up for Gum Giant. Is it Gum Giant or Gum Gigant? I guess we'll know once we see the official English translation. And I think the Japanese says like Gum no Kyojin, right? So I don't know what's the right way to pronounce it. Okay, it does attack 8k with the Luffy Taro. And then the Foxy takes it, gets a Kid, right? Is that Kid or 7 cost Foxy? I think that's Kid. Does play Taro out. -1 Dawn, lets you play another Straw Hat. Or a purple Straw Hat that's 5 cost or less, which is Zorodro. Lets him look top 5 for another Straw Hat card. Take a 2k Sanji? I think that's what I saw. No, it's a Law. Who is not a Straw Hat. So maybe a... Wait. Oh, that is a Sanji. Okay. Low-key, I don't know. It kind of bothers me when people do like the card gamer like shuffle stuff, but it seems like everyone does it, so... I'm in the minority, I'm aware of that. But I'm still allowed to not like it, right? Even though everyone does it. But yeah, I am aware I'm the weird one out here, right? I'm the only one who doesn't do it. Okay, he gets a Shiki. What the heck does Shiki do? Hold on, I gotta look it up. Shiki the Blocker. I don't even know what set he's from. He's early on, right? The same set as Zed? Is that O2? It's on board. I cannot read Japanese fast enough for me to translate it on the fly here, probably. I probably could. If you have 8... Okay. Oops. I think if you have 8 or more Dawn, you draw a card. I think that's what he does. So it does swing 8k with the Mr. 2, because he can copy a character's power on board. So he copies the Luffy into the Sangoro. Because you don't want the Luffy to keep drawing cards every turn with Sangoro. Shiki's not OP02 or OP03? What set's he from? Okay, it does counter 3k. And out comes a 5 cost Kid. So when he does leader ability, he gets a Dawn back. Swings 8 into the Sanji. He really wants that guy to die. Minus his 3 Dawn here. Freezes Luffy Taro. And the leader. So Zorodro can untap. Do you save Sangoro? It would be another 2 cards to save him. So you have to use a Gum Giant here. Right? He has Sanji, something, 9 cost Big Mom, and a Gum Giant. I guess the cards you discard to save Sanji, you can redraw with the Sanji, right? So it might be worth it to save him. But that is quite a lot of resources. It would be 4 cards to keep him alive this turn. What is the card next to Gum Giant? The glare makes it hard to see too. Is that 9 cost Luffy? I can't even see the number of the cost of the card. Okay, looking like he is asking questions. How many cards are in hand? 6, so I'm just gonna skip a bit. Okay, looking like he's letting the Sanji die. Sangoro. Dead Goro. He still has a Portia to attack with here. The remaining Dawn. Itamimizu ramp arrested Dawn. And then Portia 6. At leader or at Zorodro? Six at Zorodro. Counter 2. Pass. So he goes to what next turn? 9 Dawn. Foxy is going to be at 9 Dawn next turn. Luffy is gonna be at 9 right now. Could play the Lin right now to heal. Put the 5 cost kid into life. Get the blocker out of the way. He just becomes a 1k leader. He has 2 Gungam Giants though. It's pretty good. Pretty safe. But yeah, Luffy and Luffy Taro are unable to refresh. So they're out of 2 attacks every turn. That's pretty devastating actually. But luckily, Purple Luffy can swarm, so it's not as devastating against Purple Luffy as it is like a Lucci when you're locking out Gekko Morias and Jacks. So it does swing 6 into the Mr. 2 because you don't want to eat an 8k from him every turn. Is this the alt art for 9 cost Big Mom? It's pretty nice actually. Okay, does... he could block with the kid and then counter, but he does let it die. I guess you can't really like predict the 9 cost Big Mom coming from Purple Luffy. Some run it, some run the 9 cost Rush Luffy, some run 9 cost Kaido, so yeah. I don't blame him for letting the Mr. 2 die, even though the kid's gonna get bottom lifed right now. Yep. And then also lets the Luffy heal. 9 cost Big Mom heals as well for the price of 1 discard in hand. And I still don't know what that card is that was in his hand. It's on the top of his discard right now though. You guys in your alt arts. So Zorjo attacks 6k into leader. He has the counter. He has a bunch of counter actually. But I do think he wants to like find a 7 cost Foxy, so he might take a life. Try to dig for it in his life. Because in the last game it was like his second to last life. He still won anyway, but it would have been nice to have that out earlier. Counters 2k. Right. Taro 8 takes it. Yes, he leaves the chopper out. He does get the 7 cost Foxy. Perfect. Maybe we'll get to see it in action here. He does ramp with the Purple Luffy ramps with the leader ability just to have 1 Dawn up for Gum Giant to keep his characters alive. That's smart. Because you heal the life with 9 cost Big Mom anyway, so it's like you didn't lose anything. 8 developed to 9k. Neato. Alright, so Foxy does pick up another chopper here. Okay, we see Porsche 5 at lead. This is like a 1k counter check. He does take it. That could give away that Luffy doesn't have 1k counter. Plays out the Foxy for 7. And then he can ramp 2 Dawn this turn. Foxy ramps you 1 and then Itamiuzu ramps you another. So you only lose out 1 Dawn in your leader ability. I guess you could play another chopper out so you don't lose any Dawn this turn at all. Or Shiki. Shiki works too, but he doesn't ramp you. He'll draw you a card. Now, I don't know how this Foxy wins from this point though. Because he can only lock 2 things out a turn. I think he really needs to find that 3 cost event that lets him like untap a Foxy. I think that would win him the game if he could find it. Okay, so it does counter 1k against the leader hit. I'm guessing it's Chopper. Because Purple Luffy doesn't have too many ways to deal with chump blockers. So it does ramp 1 Rested Dawn with Itamiuzu, and then Foxy also ramps 1 Rested Dawn and plays the chopper out, ramps another Rested Dawn. So it's like he lost nothing at all. Passes it. So leader and the Luffy Taro are still frozen. But now he has a Lin to attack with. Right, Luffy is at 10 Dawn. What to do? Now, can Foxy even survive this? 4 attacks and then 2 life and a blocker. 2 chump blockers out. So he can, actually. Unless Luffy has rush. So minimum swing, 6k. Burn a 2k. Another 6k. What does he have for 9? That's a Luffy, right? Yeah, that is 9 cost Luffy. So I guess that was on what was in his life that I didn't recognize. I know the base art version and I know what the manga rare looks like. I guess I just don't know what the alt art of it looks like. The one variant. I think you do have to counter these. Use the Gina, right? Why do you need Gina at this point? Counter 2 with Gina. But yeah, looks like the casters are talking about that 3 cost event that lets them untap a Foxy character or leader. Turns you into like a green deck, pseudo green deck. Okay, so Luffy Taro attacks 8. You're not gonna block with your chumps. I guess he's expecting a 9 cost Luffy, so he'll chump the Linlin and then chump the Luffy hit afterwards. It does take the 8. Linlin 9, you chump it. 9 Dawn for a Luffy, yep. Replaces the Zoro Juro. So yeah, Luffy out, you minus a Dawn, you draw a card, you get Rush. 10k into lead, you chump that one as well. Yep. Yeah, I think you can't do anything against this board. Even if you freeze one thing, he still has 3 other potent attackers out to get you, right? And since this Foxy came so late, I think he didn't have the Dawn to spare to attack back into the character, so he's only been attacking life. And Purple Luffy is very defensive, so very hard to accomplish that. He picks up a 7 cost Sanji. That's not going to help in this situation. The 3 cost event might have actually. Does play a Shiki out. So if you have 8 or more Dawn, you draw a card, and then he's a blocker, 2 cost blocker. Runs Shiki and Chopper just to chump a bunch of chumping. You might have to play the Kid blocker as well. And then just try to freeze while trying to get Luffy to take life. It's looking like Purple Luffy has it from this board state, actually. Okay, does attach a Dawn to Portia. 6 into... Now, do you go for board or just try to finish before you die? And hope to live a turn? 6 at lead. You just counter with the 2k. And then 5 Dawn for Kid. And then Foxy 7, Leader 7. That's about all you can do. Yeah, the good thing about the Sanji is that at least he has counter. On top of being like a rush attacker. So he has 4k counter in hand right now, the Foxy. He could attack 9k into Zoro or something. Okay, does attack 7 into Zoro, and then minus 3 Dawn to freeze Luffy and Luffy? Yep. Yeah, I guess this Foxy doesn't run a lot of the Foxy counter events. There's some that like outright stop something from attacking, right? You can stop like 2 things. You get minus power to one thing and then like rest another thing. Stuff like that. But I guess they're kind of bricky in some matchups, so this is a more like all-purpose list that doesn't run the events. So the Zoro does die from the 7k, because the Luffy player doesn't want to use a Gum Gum Giant to save it. 8k from the Foxy, from the Dawn that they got back from the 5 cost Kid. Does Gum Gum Giant here to counter that for 9. Counter that for 4 into 9k against 8. No wait, my first sentence still made sense in English. It gets him to draw 2 cards too afterwards. One of the best additions to Purple Luffy in 09. So passes back to the Purple Luffy's turn. He's still at 2 life, so he has a pretty good shot at ending this turn. He has 3 attacks. The opponent has 1 blocker out. No, 2. Actually, he can't end because he's got 5 cost Kid and Shiki. So disregard what I said. So swings with the Taro. He has a 5 cost Kid in hand and then something else. Is that a Law Searcher? I see a 1. That's what I'm going to have to assume it is. So it does swing 8 into lead. He has to counter for it, or he just chump with the Shiki. Chumps with Shiki. Freaky, freaky. Other Luffy attacks for 8. Technically, Luffy Taro. It's a separate card from Luffy, actually. Counters 3? Wait, how do you counter 3 against an 8? Huh? Wait. That doesn't make sense, right? Because if he attacked 8 into Foxy, that would be a 2k. But if he attacked 8 into Leader, that would be a 4k to counter, right? Are the judges not gonna... No, in these cases, usually I was the one who was like wrong, so there's probably something I missed. Something is a 6k that he countered 3 against an 8. Okay, it does play out the 1-cost searcher law. What did he pick up? A Sanji. Okay, this can just rest the Kid and then go for game. Between Kid and the Linlin. Does play out the Sanji. Minus a Dawn. Rest the 5 costs and he has Rush, so... What is it? 7 and then 9? So here's 7, he takes. And then 10 from Linden or 11. Just for the overkill, leader ability to ramp. 11 for game. 2 cards in hand, it's mathematically impossible to counter out of that. Purple Luffy takes it. Oh dang, Foxy's run ended, but I'm happy because Luffy won. It's a little conflicted. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this video. I'll watch how this Purple Luffy does in the next round, in the next video. If they're gonna show his match, I hope they do. I hope they don't show like a different matchup and then Purple Luffy loses and I don't see it in the final. But yeah, that's it for now. That's the end for Foxy. Oh, let me check real quick if the other Foxy made it to the next round or not. It'll be another Purple Luffy into Foxy matchup maybe. Let me skip ahead real quick before I end this video so I know what I'm gonna have in store for the next video for you guys. Okay, it's Blackbeard versus... Oh, that's a Purple Luffy player. Okay, so no Foxy. So that'll be it for this video. It'll be a Foxy focus video. Interesting to see Foxy show up. 2 of them too, so it's not a fluke. So I'm gonna have to revisit him. I'm guessing he has a pretty good matchup to Doflamingo. And yeah, the new purple package probably buffs him quite a bit. In 09, we just didn't see him until now, until the end of 09. Right, people were not experimenting with them until now. But he's had the tools for like, what, a month now? But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a go myself. Expect some Foxy videos soon. Yeah, let me know if you like this video. If you have any feedback as well, that'd be great. And let me know if my commentary helps you at all. If you're like a new player or intermediate or veteran player, I want to get like a general sense of how I'm doing with these. Or if you guys even like these. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Car D Kaizoku.